Have you ever experienced a moment that changes everything? Diem and Tuan's mountain getaway begins like a dream. Sunlight filtering through towering pines, laughter echoing across the trails, and hearts light with adventure. But a sudden slip on a mossy rock turns their idyllic journey into a heartbeat-stopping rescue, forcing Tuan to save Diem from a sheer cliff edge. In that tense, intimate moment, fear transforms into realization. They mean more to each other than ever imagined. Stay tuned as we relive their unforgettable adventure, and don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling and heartwarming stories that capture life's most breathtaking moments. The morning sun broke gently over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the towering pines and rugged cliffs that framed the winding mountain trail. Diem and Tuan set off with light hearts and eager steps, the crisp air filling their lungs with a sense of freedom that only the mountains could offer. Each footfall on the uneven path seemed to echo the quiet pulse of nature itself, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of birds, and the soft murmur of a hidden stream somewhere below. Diem laughed as the sunbeam caught her hair, turning it into strands of liquid gold, while Tuan, slightly ahead, turned to watch her with a smile that carried both admiration and affection. They paused now and then to capture the fleeting beauty around them. Diem crouched to photograph a cluster of delicate wildflowers, clinging stubbornly to the rocky slope, their petals trembling in the morning breeze. Tuan, ever patient, waited beside her, hands tucked into his jacket pockets, silently enjoying the way the light danced across her face. They shared small jokes about the awkward poses Diem tried to strike, and her laughter rang through the trees like a melody, warm and inviting. The path was steep, but the joy of walking together made every step feel lighter, every challenge less daunting. As they ascended, the landscape unfolded into a breathtaking panorama. Valleys swathed in mist stretched endlessly, and distant peaks glimmered with the first touches of sunlight. The mountains seemed alive, as if holding their breath in anticipation of the day ahead. Diem's eyes sparkled with wonder, and Tuan couldn't help but reach out to gently squeeze her hand, a silent acknowledgement of their shared awe. "It's beautiful," Diem whispered, her voice barely carrying over the whispering pines, and Tuan nodded, feeling the weight of that beauty settle deep in his chest. Every color, the deep greens of the forest, the soft blues of the sky, the earthy browns of the rocks, seemed sharper, more vivid because they were experiencing it together. They wandered further along the trail, sometimes falling into comfortable silence, sometimes exchanging fleeting glances that spoke volumes. Every turn revealed new surprises: a hidden waterfall cascading over moss-covered stones, a family of deer cautiously grazing near the edge of the trail, the faint scent of wild herbs carried on the breeze. Tuan found himself stealing glances at Diem more often than at the scenery, captivated by the way her eyes widened in delight, her lips curled into a shy smile, the subtle tilt of her head that made her seem both delicate and fearless at once. He realized that it wasn't just the mountains that made his heart race. It was being here with her, sharing this perfect, fleeting moment of serenity. By the time they reached the small plateau overlooking the valley below, the sun had risen higher, bathing the world in warm light. Diem and Tuan stood side by side, shoulders touching, taking in the view in quiet harmony. Every sound, every smell, every flicker of light seemed to celebrate their journey together. It was in these shared silences, these unspoken acknowledgments, that the depth of their connection became clear. They were not just walking through the mountains, they were walking into a memory they would carry forever, one step at a time, hand in hand. As they continued along the narrow mountain path, the playful serenity of the morning seemed to hold its breath, as if the mountains themselves sensed the tension that was about to unfold. Diem, momentarily distracted by a cluster of vibrant wildflowers clinging to the cliff's edge, stepped a little too close to the slope. Her foot slipped on a damp patch of moss-covered rock, and suddenly her body lurched forward in an almost surreal moment suspended between gravity and instinct. The sheer drop below yawned like a dark, unyielding chasm, and for a heartbeat, time seemed to slow. "Damn!" Tuan's voice tore through the quiet air, sharp and desperate. His heart pounded violently, matching the rhythm of her sudden, panicked breaths. Without a second thought, he lunged, the world around him blurring as he stretched his arm toward her. Diem's fingers flailed for something, anything, as the earth seemed to vanish beneath her. Their eyes met, hers wide with fear, his wide with determination, and in that suspended instant, words were unnecessary. The connection between them was raw, primal, and urgent. Tuan's fingers found hers just as the edge threatened to claim her. He yanked with all his strength, planting his feet firmly against the rocky trail, muscles straining with the effort of keeping them both safe. Diem's heart raced uncontrollably, her breaths sharp and ragged, yet she felt an undeniable warmth in the grip that held her steady. The fear that had threatened to overwhelm her slowly gave way to relief as Tuan's firm presence reminded her that she was not alone, that someone was there to protect her. The trees around them swayed gently in the breeze, as if exhaling along with them, a soft chorus to the tense drama of the moment. When at last Diem's feet found solid ground and her body was fully supported, she collapsed into Tuan's chest, her trembling hands clutching his jacket. For a few seconds, the only sound was the rapid beat of their hearts and the soft rustle of the forest. I thought I was going to," she whispered, her voice breaking, trailing off into nothing. Tuan wrapped his arms around her tightly, his own chest heaving. "I've got you, always." For a long moment, they stood like that, suspended in the aftermath of fear, their foreheads touching, breaths mingling, the gravity of what had just occurred settling around them like a heavy, invisible cloak. Diem looked up, her eyes shimmering with a mixture of lingering terror and profound gratitude. I didn't realize how much I need you," she admitted, her words fragile yet sincere. Tuan's hand cupped her cheek, thumb brushing gently against her skin. "You're more important to me than I can ever say," he replied, voice thick with emotion. "More than anything." The forest, once again, returned its gentle murmur of life, the wind through the pines, the distant song of birds. But for Diem and Tuan, the world had narrowed to just the two of them, suspended between relief and revelation. In that instant, the mountains were no longer merely a breathtaking backdrop. They had become witnesses to a truth neither could ignore. Love was not only about quiet mornings or shared laughter, but also about being the anchor when the world threatened to pull the other away. And as they slowly stepped back onto the path, hands intertwined, both knew that this shared moment of fear and rescue had deepened their bond in ways words alone could never capture. As they steadied themselves on the narrow trail, Diem leaned against Toan, her breath gradually returning to a normal rhythm. The sunlight had climbed higher now, spilling across the mountainside in warm, golden streams that seemed to caress their faces. For a moment, the world was still. The valley below shrouded in a delicate morning mist, the distant peaks glowing softly under the sun's embrace. In that quiet, Diem and Toan felt the enormity of the moment settle deep within them, a mixture of relief, awe, and something far more profound. Diem lifted her gaze to meet Toan's, her eyes shimmering with an intensity that words alone could not convey. I didn't realize," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. how much I depend on you. Toan's hand tightened gently around hers, his thumb brushing across the back of her fingers, as if to reassure her, and himself at the same time. You're my anchor, he replied, his voice steady yet laced with emotion. I've always been, and I always will be. The sincerity in his tone sent a warmth rushing through her chest, and for the first time that morning, Diem allowed herself to truly breathe, feeling safe, cherished, and utterly seen. They continued walking along the trail, their steps slower now, measured, as if neither wanted to break the fragile spell that had enveloped them. The forest around them seemed to lean in, the rustling leaves and whispering wind serving as a gentle symphony to their unspoken confessions. Diem couldn't stop stealing glances at Toan, the way his hair caught the sunlight, the curve of his smile, the quiet strength in his posture. Each detail reminded her that this was more than just a shared adventure. It was a moment that would mark the turning point of their relationship, a memory etched indelibly into the landscape of their hearts. At a small plateau overlooking the valley, they finally paused, standing side by side with their shoulders brushing. Diem let herself lean into him, feeling the steady beat of his heart against her temple. I've never felt anything like this, she admitted, softly, almost shyly. Tawan responded by wrapping an arm around her waist, drawing her closer, and she felt an electric yet comforting warmth surge through her. In that embrace, there was no fear, no doubt, only a quiet, powerful certainty that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. For several minutes, they simply stood there, silent, absorbing the beauty of the mountains and the profound intimacy that had blossomed between them. The earlier tension, the near tragedy, had shifted into something transformative. Love, they realized, was not merely found in shared laughter or picturesque moments, but also in the instinct to protect, the courage to reach out, and the quiet acknowledgement that each life was intertwined with the others. As they finally turned to continue their hike, hands intertwined, neither spoke. Words were unnecessary. The warmth of Tawan's hand in hers, the steady rhythm of their hearts, and the soft golden light around them spoke volumes.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tu Diem Review. Vậy là trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay thì Diễm và Toàn đã có những giây phút đi du lịch với nhau, nhưng đã có một sự cố xảy ra trong chuyến du lịch của hai người. Đó chính là việc trong lúc đi chụp ảnh tại địa điểm khu du lịch, Diễm đã không may trượt trên rêu xuống vực. Rất may là cô đã được Toàn cứu kịp thời. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn sẽ còn được kể các video tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh, sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.